You bought it, you strapped it to your wrist, you put it in your pocket, you invited it into your bedroom, your bathroom, your most private moments, and you thought that you were optimizing yourself. You thought you were getting healthier, smarter, more connected, more efficient. You thought the smartwatch tracking your heart rate and sleep was making you better. You thought the smartphone keeping you updated was keeping you informed. You thought constant connectivity was keeping you alive. But what if every single optimization tool you're using is doing the exact opposite? What if the thing you bought to improve yourself is actually the thing preventing your improvement? What if you're not being optimized at all? What if you're being controlled? In the book 1984, the telescreens watched everyone all the time. Orwell imagined a dystopian future where the state surveilled its citizens constantly, where there was no escape from the omnipresent eye of authority. And everyone read that book and thought, thank God we don't live in that world. Except we do. We absolutely do. The only difference is that in Orwell's nightmare, the state forced surveillance on people. In our reality, we pay for it. We line up outside Apple stores. We upgrade every single year. We strap the telescreen to our wrists and we call it progress. Your smartphone is Big Brother in your pocket, always listening, always watching, always tracking your location, your searches, your purchases, your conversations, your relationships. Your smartwatch is Big Brother on your wrist, tracking your heart rate, your sleep, your movement, your vitals, measuring you, quantifying you, reducing you to data points that can be monetized. Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant, those are Big Brother's ears in your home, always listening, always ready, always collecting. You think you turned them off? You think you disabled the microphone? How naive. These devices are designed to listen. That's their purpose. That's what they do. But the crazy part about all this is that most people don't even care. They know they're being surveilled. They know their data is being harvested. They know corporations are tracking every single thing that they do, and they just accept it. Why? Why would anyone accept this? Well, because they've been seduced. They've been told that surveillance equals optimization, monitoring equals health, and tracking equals progress. We'll measure all your vitals, they said. You'll know your sleep quality, you'll optimize your workouts. Oh yeah, we're going to get you feeling better. We're going to increase your lifespan. And you believe them. You handed over your privacy, your autonomy, your mental freedom, all for the promise of being slightly more optimized. See, the stated purpose, the marketed purpose, the reason you bought these devices is self-optimization, to make yourself better, healthier, smarter, more productive. Self-optimization, that's what they promise, that's what they sell. But what actually happens when you try to do deep work, the work that actually optimizes yourself? Like when you try to read, when you try to write, when you try to think, you have to take the watch off. You have to put the phone in another room. You have to disable notifications. You have to disconnect from the very devices that are supposed to be optimizing you. Why? If these tools are optimizing you, why do they have to be removed for you to actually optimize yourself? Because they're not optimization tools at all. They're distraction engines, attention harvesting mechanisms, and shackles disguised as self-improvement. Think about it. You're trying to write, you got your laptop, you're typing, you're trying to get into that flow state, and then bzz, a notification on your wrist. Someone sent you a message. Someone is calling you, or there's breaking news from some media outlet that wants your attention. And just like that, you are pulled out. Your concentration is shattered. Your deep work is interrupted. So what do? You take the watch off, or you silence your phone. Basically, you create a barrier between yourself and the optimization tools. And only then, only when you've removed the shackles, can you actually optimize yourself. Isn't that the most damning indictment imaginable? The tools marketed for self-optimization actually prevent self-optimization. They're the opposite of what they claim to be. But it gets worse, because even after you take off the watch, you catch yourself looking at your wrist, those phantom notifications. Your nervous system has been trained and conditioned. You've developed a reflex to always check what you're missing. You're not wearing the device anymore, but the device is still wearing you. In his book Newsphere, Mike Hockney writes, life is driven by what Nietzsche called will to power, and which Illuminism calls will to self-optimization. This internal will is what drives every monadic mind to seek the answer to itself, because only then can it optimize itself. The answer to itself, that's what your monadic mind seeks. That's the eternal mathematical function you're trying to solve. That's the whole point of your existence across infinite lifetimes. And these devices, these optimization tools, they're actively preventing you from solving that function. They are de-optimizing you. They're working against your fundamental cosmic purpose. They're not helping your eternal mind perfect itself. They are sabotaging it. They're fragmenting your attention, disrupting your thinking, preventing the deep focus required for actual self-optimization. The monad optimizes itself through its own internal mathematical operations, through thinking, through contemplation, through wrestling with ideas, not through external measurement, not through corporate surveillance disguised as health tracking. You want to optimize yourself? Then seek knowledge without distractions. Think deeply without interruption, without some gadget buzzing on your wrist every 30 seconds to tell you information you don't need. Create something, create a song, create a video, create a book, create an article without being distracted. But guess what? You've been convinced otherwise. See, they've convinced you that optimization comes from outside, from metrics, from data, from tracking and monitoring and quantifying. It's a lie, and worse, it's a lie that directly contradicts your soul's fundamental purpose. Look around you. Look at the people in restaurants, waiting rooms, people walking down the street, sitting at dinner tables with their families. What are they doing? They're staring at screens. They're not conversing. They're scrolling endlessly, checking notifications, responding to messages immediately, as if not responding within 30 seconds would cause the universe to collapse. They're completely controlled and dominated by their devices, and they don't even notice. They think this is normal. They think this is just staying connected. But it's not connection, it's compulsion. Think of someone who can't let their phone ring even once before answering. Someone who keeps their phone on the dinner table, not because they're expecting an important call, but because they can't stand the thought of missing something. Someone who checks social media compulsively, mindlessly, automatically. That's not a person using a tool, that's a tool using a person. And most people won't see anything wrong with this because most people are doing the same thing. When everyone is enslaved, slavery looks like freedom. You might think you're different. You might think you have more control. Maybe you don't use social media as much. Maybe you only check your phone for important things, work emails, stock prices, news updates, but you're still checking. You're still compulsively monitoring. You're still allowing external stimuli to dictate your attention. The form of the addiction might differ, but the structure is identical. You are not in control of your attention anymore. Your attention is being controlled. And the surveillance isn't just external. It's not just corporations watching you. You're watching yourself now. You're surveilling your own heart rate, your own sleep patterns, your own step count, your own productivity metrics. You've internalized Big Brother. You've become your own warden. But if you think the smartwatches and phones are invasive and intrusive, you haven't seen nothing yet. Elon Musk wants to put a chip in your brain, Neuralink, direct neural interface, and people are lining up to volunteer. I mean, literally, they're raising their hand to let a billionaire implant a device directly into their skull. Why do they want to do this? So they can merge with AI? So they can enhance their cognition? So they can be even more optimized? No. It's so Musk can have direct access to their brainwaves, so corporations can better monetize their behavior. And it doesn't stop there. They want you to have AR glasses, the next evolution of the smartphone, they say. Imagine a device that tracks not just where you go, but what you look at. Not just what you search, but what catches your eye. Combined with the brain chip and the smartwatch and the smartphone, and what do you have? Total surveillance. They could track your brain waves through the brain chip. They could track your vitals through the watch, your visual attention through the glasses, which you're searching for on your phone, your location from all the devices. They can better monitor your internal state, your physical state, and your perceptual state all simultaneously, all the time. And for what? So Zuckerberg can sell more ads? So Musk can accumulate more wealth? so tech billionaires can monetize every single aspect of your existence? They're building a prison, a digital panopticon, and they're convincing you that the bars are features, not constraints. But health, they'll say it's all about efficiency, it's all about optimization. And all the while you're getting sicker. I mean, life expectancy in America is declining, mental health is deteriorating despite all these health tracking devices, despite all this optimization technology. People are less healthy than ever. I mean, how is that possible? If these tools actually worked, if they actually optimize you, wouldn't we see the opposite trend? Wouldn't people be getting healthier, not sicker? The tools don't work, or rather, they don't work for you. They work perfectly for the people selling them. They extract your data, they capture your attention, and they monetize your existence. For them, the system works flawlessly. For you, you get sicker, more distracted, more controlled, more enslaved, all while being told you're being optimized. So my question to you is, what are you trying to optimize? Who told you that you needed to track a certain heart rate zone while you run or while you work out? Who convinced you that you needed to measure your distance? Where did that belief come from? It didn't come from you. It came from fitness influencers, health apps, from the entire quantified self movement that treats human beings like machines that need constant monitoring and adjustment. But you're not a machine. You're not a system to be optimized by external metrics. You're a mind, and minds don't optimize through measurement. They optimize through thinking, through clarity, through freedom from distraction. Every belief you hold, ask yourself, is this actually mine? Or was it implanted by someone else, by marketing, by culture, by the people selling you the tools to optimize yourself? A belief isn't truly yours until you've tried to debunk it, until you've questioned it, until you've subjected it to rational scrutiny and found it still standing. Most people never do that. They adopt beliefs wholesale. They accept premises without examination, and they let others do their thinking for them. And then they strap on a device that do even more of their thinking for them. Your heart rate is elevated, or you didn't sleep well, you've been sitting too long. The device tells you what you should already know, what you would know if you were actually paying attention to your own body instead of outsourcing that awareness to a gadget. Here's what the will to self-optimization actually means. It means thinking for yourself. It means questioning everything. It means refusing to accept external control disguised as self-improvement. The monad, your eternal individual soul, seeks self-optimization through its own activity, its own mathematical operations, its own internal development, not through external measurement and not through corporate surveillance and not through devices that claim to know you better than you know yourself. You want to optimize? Then think, question, challenge every assumption, especially the assumptions that seem obvious, most widely accepted, and most common sense. Why do you need to track your sleep? Who benefits from you believing that you need that information? Why do you need constant connectivity? Who profits from your fear of missing out? Why do you need to quantify your workouts? Who convinced you that numbers matter more than the experience itself? Ask those questions and keep asking them. Don't accept easy answers. Don't let anyone, especially not some billionaire selling you a subscription service, tell you what optimization means. You know what real optimization looks like. It looks like freedom from external control, like the ability to think without interruption, like reclaiming your attention from the attention merchants. It looks like removing the shackles, even if you paid $400 for them. The question isn't whether you should throw away your smartphone and live secluded in the woods. The question is, are you aware? Do you see the control mechanisms for what they are? Do you recognize when you're being manipulated? Because once you see it, once you truly see how the system works, how you're being monetized, how your optimization is actually your subjection, you can't unsee it. And that awareness is where actual self-optimization begins. Not with a device on your wrist, but with a thought in your mind, a question you refuse to stop asking. Are you optimizing yourself, or are you being optimized by someone else? The answer matters more than you think.